All right, we're getting the sound issues. Just listening to the Libra right now, getting that loaded for us. Wow, not dark mode. Give me just a second. So they're currently being questioned on C-SPAN right now.
You never know what kind of opportunity could be right around the corner. If you're interested,
guys have any questions, shoot them down in the comment section. Just want to make sure everything's working. Wow, we're under 9,900 now. We're pretty much testing that bottom channel on its own. Sorry, our last test point. I generally, this is just my opinion because I used to trade the stock market and the options. I do not like trading during earnings reports. I don't like trading. I mean, honestly, I would stop trading honestly about 2-3 weeks before earnings would come out, and I would take a break. I hate trading on news. So I'm a little bit nervous to start a position, honestly, in any direction, because this thing can flip at any time. We're testing the bottom of this symmetrical triangle. So once again, even you can tell from the Senate hearing right now, or wherever they're at having this, I think there's just a lot of hate on Facebook right now, and Trump on his last tweet, it was very, very obvious it was directed towards Facebook, not so much cryptocurrency in general. And then now you see the Senate, because they oh, here, I got that volume down. Sorry about that. All right. So right now we're testing the 382 right now. We're at the bottom of the symmetrical triangle. It's, we're kind of ominous right now. Like I said, I do not like trading during news, more so now that Libra is being questioned in the Senate. I believe that's where they're at right now. I'm not sure if it's the Senate or Congress. All about the same to me. But they're getting drilled. It reminds me of a lot of that privacy leak whenever they were leaking information. The last time they were there. There seems to be a lot of pent-up hate against Facebook right now. And Libra's facing the brunt of it right now. I'm very curious to see what happens. The bottom of this fib level is roughly about that 9,770 area. So we have a wick off of it, but that does not mean it's going to hold for now. Or it's going to hold here in the future. Let's look at our daily time frames. We'll work our way up and go to the smaller time frames. I talked about it last night. So even though we were moving up last night, we broke 11,000, then kind of retraced after there. We were showing a ton of bearish divergence on Market Cipher. I couldn't even find a indicator except maybe the 1 minute, 5 minute, 15 that were trying to show a little bit of bullishness. But right now, it's just, it's coming to fruition. I'm still kicking myself for starting it, but I would rather be safe and miss out than be, who knows, what's if they said something positive and I had a short position. Granted, the 11K area was beautiful last night. I got a little bit, I got fairly greedy, waiting for the best position, and, that's part of the trading psychology, everyone thinks that they're going to get the most optimal. They're going to sell the top. They're going to, they're going to short directly at the top, just like they're going to buy the exact dollar amount on the bottom. It never works out like that. All right, I just want to see. Does this thing show the comments on it? It's no big deal. So we're basically just in this. Okay, look, so we're up above 10,000 now. So right now our 382 is holding. Let's actually get a closer look. Let's see. We wick right. Look at that. We wick darn near right off of it. But looking at the daily market cipher B. I don't know why those dots are there. But looking at market cipher B, we are showing bearish divergence right there, and that is definitely bearish divergence. That's strong bearish divergence. The money flow is pointed, we're not even that far up on the daily. That just tells you there is so much more room to the downside. I mean, this money flow could easily come back and go back like this before it points back up, and this is on the daily time frame. There is a ton of possible downside. Once that 9780, 9800 area breaks, it could get very, very ugly. I mean, we do have our 0.5. So this is on the daily, so these numbers could be a little more drastic. I wanted a more long-term. I have this from our absolute swing low at 3,300, 3,400, all the way up to our top at roughly 14,000. So this one, since we're about to have some major volatility right now, it's going to get very, very crazy. So, I'm still holding my Bitcoin on my leverage trading exchange. So when we make our move, this actually reminds me a lot. Did you guys trade the news last year? Whenever Ethereum, there was talks about them being a security or whatnot. That burned a lot of traders. We would have major swing ups, just like we did today. How we had our jump to 10,500. And then the bottom just fell. I believe what we experienced is, so when we hit 9,800 the other day, 9,900, we exasperated. We ran out of sellers. They're exhausted, okay? And a way the market can create new sellers is by forming or creating a bounce. And then when they push it back down again, you have new buyers closer to your level you're trying to break. So when you shake them, you can push yourself to new lows. All right. It's going to take just a second. I'm going to share this on my Telegram page real quick. So it's going to get interesting. We're basically just going to sit here and watch. I have the post. I'm sorry. I have the Facebook hearing on my phone right now. I'm watching. I believe it's like CCN. They have a live link. If you look up Facebook Libra hearing, click I believe it's CCN. You can click it, and you can watch it. All right, so I'm going to share this to one more place on Twitter, and should be good. Let me know what you guys think. Is Facebook going to be the killer of our bull run, or is this just a major trap? All right, just sharing this on Twitter real quick. Alright. Let me know what you guys think about the Facebook. Cryptocurrency. There you go. Oh. All right. All right. Should be good there. All right. There you go. So if you don't already follow me already, you can catch me at JohnSnell23 on Twitter. We also have a Telegram channel. I now formed it as a group. For the longest time, I did not realize even if you have a Telegram group, I'm sorry, a channel, it's only meant for me to send messages. So I had to form a group on top of it so you guys could be able to talk and we can share all, our ideas. It's all about, educating and, crypto's not just about making money. We're part of the greatest movement, in my opinion, since, a lot of the innovative things. This is the most innovative technology. We're a strong community. So we should all work together to help each other out, Like Morbidus last night, he was the one that pointed out this ascending triangle. I mean, I generally do not like having my triangles this long out, but, live and learn. You always have time to learn and get yourself better as a trader. So we're going to see how this triangle holds up. I have this upsloping line here. It's basically just a short-term momentum bullishness. Or not, I don't want to say bullishness, but it's basically the line that we've been holding. That's been holding the price up right now. So we're basically just stagnant here. What are we at? 9,967. Alright. So what I've noticed here on Streamlabs is whenever you start your whenever you start a video, with your title and everything, it doesn't actually port that same information over to YouTube. So it seems like you have to come over here and manually change it through Facebook. Or I'm sorry, YouTube. Still sitting. I don't like how stagnant we are right now. You'd kind of, since we broke 10,000, you would really like to see us, that volume come and shoot in, but I'm just going to check the settings of this real quick. Should take about 2 seconds. I'm not sure why Streamlabs doesn't let you just import your, the information you put in. And it just, YouTube, recognizes it. What's going on? So we're still sitting at that 9,000, 960 area. So So we're good. All right. Just want to make sure that was good. So this really doesn't look good for Bitcoin right now. Let's go back to our daily. So we have our divergences there. That's showing bearishness. And I noticed we're going to work our way down. And okay, so we could actually be forming it now. So this is our negative momentum that we're building right now. You really want to see this maybe come and round off and make a lower high compared to this one. So what that shows is the negative divergence is declining. But if you look at our money flow right now, we're pointed down. And seeing that we just had this dump, that tells me that these lower time frames are going to make the higher ones whenever they move over. It's going to even show them more bearish. So the money flow is still barely green on the 2 hour. But this isn't a very, I mean, you can kind of tell where we had the big blob. And then you had these little humps. I mean, it was basically just a small relief rally. And that's kind of showing what this was. We started building positive momentum, but it was just a fake out. So if you know in the comments section, does anyone know when the Libra hearing actually started? I'm watching it live now on my phone. So here, you know what I'm gonna do? I want to see if we can actually listen to it live through my computer. So we'll be able to listen to it. Facebook, Libra coin. Should take just a second. So CoinDesk is also, this is where I'm watching it on my phone, but I'm just going to move it here to the computer so we can all listen to it together. It's actually kind of funny watching them just get drilled right now. I mean, it's bad for cryptocurrency, but you can just tell how these politicians, they hate these major tech companies. All right, so I'm going to drop the music. We're going to get this Facebook hearing on. All right, so we're doing good there. That was weird. Stack it. That is not what I clicked. Oh, come on. All right, let's try this again. All right, so it's on C-SPAN, so it is in the Senate.
This hearing will come to order. Today we will receive testimony from David Marcus, head of Calibra at Facebook. On May 9th,
All right, so it looks like it may not actually be live anymore.
reported that the company was recruiting financial institutions and online merchants to help launch a cryptocurrency-based payment system using its social network. Our letter asked Facebook for more information about how the system would work, its access to and use of consumer financial information.
Let me know if you guys can hear it.
Access to and use of information on individuals or groups of individuals in credit.
So what I'm kind of watching for right
insurance,
now
employment,
is
housing.
I want to see,
I appreciate
now that the
Facebook's
Senate
response
hearing
last
is
week.
over, I want to see if we get our bounce.
Shortly after the letter was sent, Facebook formally announced its intention to launch the payment system Libra and issued a white paper providing some information about the project. Since then, U.S. and global regulators have taken notice, including the Federal Reserve, UK's Financial Conduct Authority, Financial Stability Board, G7, and others. Last week, during the Federal Reserve's semi-annual monetary policy report to Congress, Chairman Powell raised concerns about the cryptocurrency's potential for inciting money laundering and financial instability problems, and also expressed concern over customers' privacy. Yesterday, Secretary Mnuchin stated the Treasury Department has very serious concerns that Libra
Mnuchin,
could
that's how
be
you say it.
misused by money launderers and terrorist financiers. The Bank of England Governor Mark Carney said Libra, if it achieves its ambitions, would be systemically important. As such, it would have to meet the highest standards of prudential regulation and consumer protection. It must address issues ranging from anti-money laundering to data protection to operational resilience. Concerns include, but are in no way limited, to how the payment system will work, how it will be managed, and how Libra, the Libra Association, Calibra, and Facebook will all interact. What consumer protections will apply, and potential implications for consumers with respect to financial loss from fraud or the project's failure. How individuals' data will be protected, and how individuals' privacy will be preserved. How the Libra ecosystem interacts with...
All right, so the Libra hearing is not live. It must have just ended because I know it was there. It was live maybe 30, 45 minutes ago. So we're going to get back to the music. So it looks like if there was going to be any ball dropping news, it would have happened. Obviously they said something for the simple fact that we just had a $600-700 drop in the price of crypto right now.
Hey guys and gals, my name is Jason Bond, founder of JasonBondPicks.com, and I teach people how to trade stocks. Now,
I don't know why this tool keeps doing that. So looking at our divergences now, the 4 hours bearish, the daily's bearish. We're basically just hanging out and chilling right now. The money flow's headed down, so the 45, it looks like we could maybe be possibly heading into another sell-off. I mean, just being transparent, I mean, I don't want to get overly bearish on this right now, but I would be looking too short a bounce. Looking at our fib levels, if we hit the 236, if we hit that 11.2, 11.3, according to this, it's 11,300, might be worth opening up a short position. Man, what a red candle right there. See what Market Cipher A has to say. Here, let's just get a closer look. So it gave a small sell signal before this drop happened.
Welcome to Cape Line.
All right, we're making our next leg down now. Let me know what you guys are thinking. There you go. So we're testing this little support area. This is our uprising. It's basically just holding this trend as a whole up. If we zoom out here to the 4 hour, you can see how I come up with this. We have our touch points here, almost one there. You have another cluster of touch points here. All right, so we're now under 9,900. Really isn't looking good. So the key things I'm going to be watching out for here is market cipher B here. I want to see, because like when everything's dark and it looks like the world's ending, market cipher B comes for the save. So we're going to go to our closer time frames. You can see even here on our closer time frames right here, where, you know, the negative momentum is still building. It's not diverging, you know, we're not lowering our divergence on this. So 15-minute, I don't put too much sentiment or whatever behind the 5-minute. So 5-minute, it's trying to show some life. Let's see if the white's getting into it yet. All right, so it could be. It is very possible. This is the 5-minute, but the way I look at this is I'm looking at it from the standpoint of it will change the more short-term time frame. You know, as the data goes into the 5-minute and then 10 minutes goes by, it'll hit the 15-minute. I'm basically trying to hit these longer time frames out by the shorter information that's going to be fed into it. We still have this negative momentum right now. What a day makes, though. Even though, like, I was shouting it yesterday. It seemed like a trap. The entire day seemed like a trap. Testing that 9,900 area again. We're trying to hold the bottom here, but let's go to our last low. We can see where we hit at. So it's showing on not the most recent, but the lowest we've gotten is $9,880. Let's go. I don't want to see that. Let's go to this one. And on that last dip we had, the lowest candle we had. This is the one that we had when we first broke 10,000, like a couple weeks ago. I say a couple weeks ago. Wow, time flies. So it would have been just before, you know, around July, just before July 4th. That first major impulse, we hit roughly 9,636. Granted, it was just a candle wick. We have these candle closes at 9,940, but it's gonna be pretty interesting to see what happens. Are we gonna sit here and pop up above 10,000 again. Because if they were going to do a short squeeze, this would be a great time to do it. There's a lot of people probably piling in. The thing that makes me more, I mean, I do not have a position now except the overall Bitcoin that I hold. You know, it's non-leveraged right now, so I don't have to, you know, risk liquidation or anything like that. But the thing that I'm worried about is how many times do we have to sit here and test? I mean, do you remember 6,000, you know, months ago? How many times we kept testing 6, just over and over and over and over, and finally the ball just dropped. So we're basically just gonna sit and see now what happens. I really want to see if we do a $10,000 test again, where we can actually break above it. If I was going to be looking for a possible area to maybe short, I would like to see that's still a little high up. Let's go more to our shorter. Let's go to a shorter time frame. Well, it's very obvious we have very what's the word, stingent support, or I'm sorry, resistance at 10,008. Honestly though, I don't really even want to think that far ahead because we're so, you know, how far in the red we are now. But 10,300 is going to be our next area of resistance if we can even get above 10,000 right now. So if you're looking for a bearish, like where you would be looking to possibly cover, you already owned a short. You know, I would probably, you know, I really want to see how the 382 here holds. We've bounced off of it so many times, and we have a decent reaction once we get some momentum behind it. But if we were to break that, the next area I would be looking for, I mean, you're going to have some support at roughly $9,200. But my gosh, I mean, after that, you're going to be hoping the 0.5 holds. And that's sitting, what, at, let's see what that's at. 8,600. So we're going to be looking at 9,200 and 8,600 as our next areas of supports. And even this 9,200 area. Oh, actually, let's zoom out here real quick. Let's get our support line here. I'm just trying to see how these lines look. Yeah, there's not going to be much data past that. So the areas I would be watching is roughly about that $9,400 area. Granted though, that is not very strong. There's only 2 touch points and it was there for maybe 2-3 days. There's only 2 or 3 days worth of data right here to judge this support off. You're going to have much more stronger support around this 0.5, which is at that, I'm sorry, it's actually $8,500 area. I don't want to start thinking about the 618 yet. That's still pretty far down there. It's kind of an ominous time right now, you know? How many times can we hit this support and go back up? I'm just doing another double check to make sure the comments are working. 14,940. Man, what a bearish engulfing candle right there. You wonder what was said in the hearing when that was, when that news, or no, I'm sorry, not news, but when that candle started. So we had a nice little jump from 93, or I'm sorry, 10,003 to 10,005, almost 6, and then the bottom just fell out. All right. I noticed the boards are starting to get awful bearish right now. I don't know why these damn lines keep doing that. I don't even have the tool on. So, checking these higher time frames, I'm sorry, on the positive momentum side. 4 hour, I mean, there is the scary thing about this is there's so much more room. Once we break that old 382, there is so much more room for this to drop. If you look at our momentum indicator right here, I mean, honestly, this has been building for a very long time. The money inflow is starting to point down. We still haven't even turned green, or I'm sorry, red down here. There is a lot of room to sell off. Once this thing gets going, we just have to break this ascending, or I'm sorry, this symmetrical triangle right now. It's very possible this could be a trap, and we'll bounce right up. We'll continue into this triangle. Maybe we go back up, and fill in the triangle before we make our move. Whether it's out, from the upside or the downside. It's a tricky situation today. I mean, if I had to lean a certain direction, I would honestly bet we're going to break this 382, and we're probably going to have a decent drop. I bet I think we're going to test 92, 9400 area today. But that's just me. And I guess I'm not going to put my money where my mouth is. I'm not going to try to short this right now. We're trying to build positive momentum. We really are. getting ready to test it now, guys. 9,800. And turn that sound off. Wow. $9,007. Yep, here we go. Have we broke it yet? We are darn near right on it right now. The area you gotta watch out for, or have we already broken it? Oh crap, guys. So we've broken the 382. So we've officially broken the 382. We are literally right on the bottom of this symmetrical triangle right now. Honestly, if we test 9,600, we're going to be completely out of them both. $9,650. Come on. Alright, so we're out of it now. Yep, you can even see it right here. We pierced it. It's hard to tell how far from the line we are. Damn, testing 9,500 now. Technically, your next fib level would be that 8,500 area. Cipher B. I'm sorry, A saying anything? yeah, we get a candle on. I don't know why it does this. See, we tried to form the trigger here, which would be, you know, that would be like basically the thing that would propel it if this was longer, but it's higher than this right now. That's why I don't buy the moment I see a green dot. So, curious when I do these bid levels, I make it to more aim towards short term. Let's go on to the daily. Just want to see what it looks like on the. Want to see what this looks like. So I'm gonna actually get rid of this triangle now. We honestly do not need it anymore. No longer actually even need this upsloping support line now. And we don't need that anymore. Alright, so looks like we tried to bounce on the shorter time, or the shorter time frames on the fib levels, but I'm gonna move this back now to our absolute swing low. I think this is gonna honestly give a much better, clear picture of what's going on. Still looking bearish. It looks like we might be trying to build slightly higher levels of negative momentum down here, but wow. Let's see what this guy says on Trading View. Okay, so that was actually that cross of the moving average lines I was talking about yesterday. We actually had it occur right up here. You know, guys, there is the possibility we go and we fill the old gap. It makes a lot of sense with our 0.5 fib level. We could easily fill this gap back down all the way to 8,500. I know that's a big drop, but it's just something to keep in mind. So the way I'm looking at this now, I have to move my targets down. I'm going to be looking to short if we hit that 9,750, 9,800 level. We're looking very, very bearish now. We broke, I mean, I am not looking to long this bounce. I'm really not. I'm going to wait for us to hit 9,800. We'll have to have a bullish bounce at some point. But the way I see it now, I'd like us to creep up to maybe that 9,800 area and I think I'm going to open a short position with the goal of covering probably somewhere around that 94, 9,500 area. I might actually take half profit there and then wait to see if we fill the gap to 85, and then I'll take the rest on that drop. But right now, Bitcoin is struggling to find buyers. I always like seeing the trading view, guys. It's hilarious, some of the stuff they post. You notice everyone's all of a sudden calling for 85. It'd be funny to see if that actually happens or not. I could actually take this parabolic line. I mean, honestly, I could probably just delete it now. We really don't need it. But you know, Peter Brandt did say yesterday, when you break these parabolic lines, you generally retrace 80% from where it starts. So if that is the case, it's going to get very, very interesting in cryptocurrency. I mean, I wouldn't mind buying a $5,000, $6,000, maybe even $7,000 Bitcoin, but honestly, the Bitcoin I hold now, that's where it was bought at, so. Easier to look at this line. See, I don't like that pitch we have there. So I'm gonna look to short this bounce. I'm gonna wait for us to hit roughly $9,800. I think I'm going to open a position somewhere around there. Looks like Bitcoin's trying to have a bit of a bounce right now. 96.50. Curious to see what Ethereum's at. Or here. I'm gonna keep this chart here. I'm just gonna go look on Bybit. Did we break 200? Oh man, 198. Okay, that's really bearish for 197. Holy cow. Bybit. Looks like the exchange, we're getting some volatility now. I'm not sure what's going on with Bybit right now. Order book's working, but their chart isn't. It's the only thing why I don't like playing these volatile moves right now. All these exchanges, they just start bogging up. So we're just basically watching right now. Libra conference, or the hearing is over. What's said has been said. The market obviously reacted in a very negative way, so I would be curious to see though if that gap really does fill. That would be a massive fill. 8,500. Check something real quick on Streamlabs. I did not click that.
Someday, I'll find an Kuti, make my father proud.
Come on. Hey. Alright guys, well, I'm gonna get something to eat. I'm gonna be back here. I want to see how we react in this level. So, I know today's content was a little bit, it was more or less, I mean, I literally just woke up and saw the price jump. I barely even had time to make my coffee. So, hold tight out there, be safe. I have no really positions open right now. It's more or less just wait and see. So, along with my static videos, I have a feeling I'm going to be live here fairly soon. So, especially if we start to fill that gap, you know, I'd like to take advantage of that and be here to watch it with you guys. Alright, thank you so much, and I will see you here later today.